The views and opinions expressed on this program are not necessarily those of this station, JVC Broadcasting Management, or its sponsors.
Hi, this is attorney Bob Macedonio. If you have been arrested or find yourself the subject of a criminal investigation, you need to call my office immediately at 631-582-3232. That's 631-582-3232, or visit my website at www.macdunlaw.com. That's MACDUNLAW.com. As a former prosecutor and now criminal defense attorney, I am equipped with the experience that will assure you the finest representation available. A diligent defense is not a privilege, it is a right. As a boutique law firm, we provide the personal service you demand on the most important legal matters, such as criminal, matrimonial, family, and custody representation. Please call my office at 631-582-3232 or visit my website at www.macdunlaw for an immediate appointment. Please call my office at 631-582-3232. Good evening, everybody. This is Bob Macedonio. We're here Tuesday night, 6 p.m. at 103.9 LI News Radio. This is Street Legal. I'm here every Tuesday night with my co-host, Link.
What's going on, everybody? Glad to be here with y'all. Glad to have y'all with us.
You know, Link, I'd be remiss if I don't mention that we are the #1 show on 103.9.
You would definitely be remiss if you don't mention that.
We're going to have to ask David for a raise. I don't know what we're going to do. But
see what's going on with that.
But, Link, just reading on today's, since we're live, today's current events. Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Found liable for sexual abuse and defamation in that Eve Jean Carroll case, whatever the lady's name is.
Right.
What do you think, man?
Man, it's hard for me to believe that that's what's actually happening. I can't believe that they decided to. He couldn't even remember her. Literally couldn't remember her.
He probably comes into contact with tens of thousands of people a year.
Yeah.
Even all throughout the 80s, 90s, when he was in New York City, he was, one of the most prominent, well-known people in social life in New York City. And this lady files a lawsuit. She waits, 20, 30, after he becomes president, files a lawsuit. It just, to me, seems like a money grab.
How is that succession of things even possible? Like, how is that like something that, like, all right, you say 20 years passed. One, we already passed the statute of limitation for what something like that is. Did they change that now? You could just...
Well, what New York did, at some point, they took the statute of limitation and went back on any kind of sex cases.
Right.
And they allowed you to come bring a civil case, I guess, to allow all these victims that had this suppressed over all these years.
Right.
And I think that's honestly what she did.
Wow.
But it just seems a little bit of a money grab. That's all.
Well,
my perspective. I don't know what happened. But
she's alleging rape inside of one of the finest stores in New York City, right? What is that?
Bergdorf Goodman, yeah.
How do you rape somebody inside of, what is it, like a whole floor where you can just go privately to change? How do you?
No, it's a multi-floor department store, like Macy's would be, or Saks Fifth Avenue, or Bergdorf. It's many. I think it's 9, 10 floors. So each floor has different items on it. Some have the shoe floor. You have the men's clothing. You have ladies' clothing, shoes, and they. I don't know where she said it happened. I didn't listen to the trial, but it would just seem to me that it was, listening to the reports on it.
Yeah.
They didn't find him that he raped her. They find that he sexually abused her, which is just any kind of sexual contact of intimate parts of someoment body. And then battery.
What did he say that he did? He said
he didn't even know her. He said he didn't remember her. He doesn't remember any interaction at all. And then part of it was the defamation, because I guess he went on his Truth social media after the alleged incident, or after this lawsuit came, and said, some things at her that I guess they found to be defamatory. He wrote, "I have absolutely no idea who this woman is." Just different things. So,
I
don't know. It just seems to me we had to mention it. This is what the public news events are today. It seems to me that another continuation of the media trying to influence our election cycle that's coming up, Link.
That's exactly what it seems like. I don't understand how he was already the president of the United States, right? He served 4 years as president of the United States. Why didn't this come up then? Why didn't this come up before then? Like, how does it?
I honestly think that the people that are anti-Trump plant little bombs. Let's do this. Let's do this. We did Russia. We're doing this now.
Right.
We do the records that they found down in Mar-a-Lago. Let's do his businesses, his tax returns. Link, we got a caller online. For our calls out there, we are live. This is 631-451-1039. Pick up the phone, start dialing that number, 631-451-1039. You got Bob Macedonio, Link, live on the air. That's not that often that happens. So we are here. Let's get this rolling, please.
Yes.
Antoine.
Yes. Well, let's get it popped off. What's going on, gentlemen?
What's going on? You are live on Street Legal. Welcome to Street Legal. Any comments on the Trump thing or our topic tonight? You know, racism and the media and the government, how they shake everything up.
Yeah, boy, I could be on the radio all night for this one.
Okay, well, here we are, baby. Here we are. Let's go.
Thank you for inviting me on tonight. I really appreciate it. You know, hello, Long Island. You know, Suzanne Charles Jean, Vice President of Ablaze Worldwide Entertainment.
Yeah, man.
I'm touching your radio. From Wyandanch, Long Island, New York. Now, Link, I heard what you said about Trump and this whole thing with the lady. How come she didn't come up with this years ago? And Bob, you're absolutely right. We all know that it's primary time, and we get ready to come into the primary time, and it's ready to get interesting.
Right.
All right.
But Antoine, let me say, it's not only Trump. It's not only Trump. You see this happen to a lot of successful athletes, you know, black, white, you know, whatever Spanish would be. Once they become, you know, wealthy and well-known public figures, people come out of the woodwork and try to sue them for whatever they possibly can to get money.
Yeah.
Because that's what American culture does. That's what the United States does. The first thing is the way is money lawsuits. Okay, so that's why we were bred. That's how we were grown. But let's touch Donald Trump for a minute, and I want to clear something up. All right. We must understand first, with the economy, when Obama came out of office, he kind of got us on the right track. Trump continued it. All right. Is he got away with words, and does he have a certain way with a certain demographic of people? Yes. But the demographic of people that he has a problem with does not have a color.
No.
The people of the problem that he has a problem with is not you getting up off your ass and doing something for yourself every day.
That's exactly what it is. But the problem is that does not fit the narrative of the Democratic Party.
Right.
They want the narrative to be black versus white.
All right. Because I'm going to tell you, I'll be the first to say it. I tell anybody this. My 401k did great while Trump was in office. But all the money I made while Trump was in office, I've lost that and some.
Yeah.
Okay, to where I'm a point right now, what I have left, I'm thinking about moving it into a mutual fund or something else.
Right.
Right, because it's ridiculous. You know, it's just utterly ridiculous. So now here we go. Now they want to increase the overhead of the spending limit for the United States so they can pay their bills. But we just gave about $3 billion to Ukraine.
Yeah.
Make it make sense.
Well, none of it makes any sense. And Donald Trump is the biggest threat to everything they're doing. You know, he's the biggest threat to everything that they're doing. Because to come in there now, he's not going to, you know, we wasn't trying to come to Ukraine's defense before when Donald Trump was in office. But we was keeping them from being invaded by Russia. Now we spending so much money.
We all know what it's about. We all know what it's about.
Yeah.
We all know that Ukraine is the biggest country in Europe with wheat and grain exports, which supply Central Europe, Middle Eastern Europe, the whole European situation over there. We know Ukraine, and we know that.
Antoine, we got the lines are lighting up now. We're not cutting you short. We love you. We got to take another call. Steve from East Quogue, you are on the line.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
What's going on, man?
No, I just wanted to clear one thing up. The lawsuit was brought many years ago in the early part of the Trump administration. The judge ruled that a sitting president cannot be sued privately, and they made her wait.
All right, but Steve, let me ask you a question, though. What years did she say it happened?
One second. So don't be like it's all about the timing. There's the primary now, and now, of course, they're going to drop. This thing's been years in the making, and she only sued because he defamed her, because all these people started coming out. She came out. She wasn't looking to grab money. He was a billionaire before. If she wanted money, she could have sued 20 years ago. He was coming out, and he was saying, she's lying, she's lying, she's lying. I grab him by the pussy. I'm on tape.
Oh, come on. That's just anybody talking.
Yeah, you're telling it out of context, too, because...
You're watching too much CNN, Steve.
Although he did say she's lying, if somebody accuses me of something and I say that they're lying, I'm defaming them? What about what they're accusing me of? How's that not defaming me?
Right, and that's why he got a jury of his peers. He's a New Yorker. He got a jury of his peers to hear the evidence.
Wait. Steve, you cannot say New York City is a jury of Trump's peers. They hate him.
It is his peers. That's where he grew up. He's from Queens like me.
anti-Trump. He should have got to change the venue. No dates, no times. How can you possibly defend yourself? The criminal charge never could have been brought because you need a date and time to defend yourself. No dates, no times, no location. Doesn't remember what, come on.
What precedence does it set? Does it just say
put yourself in that situation? Take
money?
Trump's name out of it. Put yourself in a situation. I'm going to accuse you for smacking me in the face last month, Steve.
Right. You could just get money for just saying somebody's name now, as long as you say it was long enough ago that you can't remember the details.
You've got to convince a jury that both sides, with multi-million-dollar attorneys on both sides, being able to select their jury, okay, and make their arguments, and a jury that sat there and listened to the testimony and the evidence, they decided that he did it.
But how do you defend something when you don't tell the person when it happened? How do you get it, like his lawyer, Joe Tacopino, said, how do you get a date book? How do you get an itinerary? How do you know where Trump wasn't in, Florida? Like, how you cannot defend something that you have no information about.
Zero information. No
Zero.
Date. It just happened.
You can.
We just know it happened. That's it.
You get a good attorney, you go in front of the jury that you helped select, and you say there's no evidence, and then the jury hears both sides, and then they make a decision. And
the jury in New York can't stand Trump, though. You know that.
Exactly.
You can't stand him. I can hear the tone of your voice, just the way you speak. You can't.
I don't have a problem with Trump. I'm a lot like him.
But you only get so many preemptive challenges to disqualify jurors. You're not going to be able to disqualify the whole pool. You run out of preempts, and it's not going to happen.
You're telling me a billionaire can't get a fair trial? Is that what you got?
I'm telling you, Donald Trump cannot get a fair trial.
No,
in New York.
Donald Trump. That's some billionaires like Donald Trump cannot get a fair trial in New York.
Donald Trump can commit any crime he wants since he can't get a fair trial.
Let me ask you this question, Steve. How come you have the same woman, not the same woman, but a woman making the same allegations against Joe Biden, and the media is far away from it? You don't hear about it.
There was one accusation against Joe Biden.
No, there were multiple accusations by Joe Biden touching women, but one accusation, and they destroyed that woman like she had no credibility.
Yeah, he kisses on them. He does all kinds
what
of
happened
weird
to Bill
stuff
Clinton? Same thing. Media destroyed those women.
Yeah.
And it was Trump who brought him out and sat him front row at one of the debates.
He got impeached over it.
He got impeached for lying for, getting oral sex from Monica Lewinsky.
I know that almost every Democrat believes that Bill Clinton is guilty of a lot of sexual, not great stuff. Everyone believes that. Not one Trump supporter, even though you heard the guy say on tape that he grabs him by the pussy. Okay? You heard it on tape. When he's a star, they let you do it. Listen, I hang around a lot of stars. No other stars talk like that.
And you know something?
But you know what? There's a lot of women out there don't mind it.
But that hot mic, though, was the worst thing that could have happened, because now they want to apply that statement as a blanket statement to any and everything now. It's like, oh, of course he did it because he already made the statement, grab him by the blase, right? And since he already said that, it means that now he's guilty of everything that could come out, right, Steve?
I don't believe that.
Yeah, anything comes out, he's guilty now.
Listen, we'll get off the Trump thing. Our topic tonight was going to be like racism in America and how the media and the government likes to pin one against the other, black against white, Spanish against black, men against women.
Let me say one more thing about racism. I'll let you guys go on to the next caller.
Right.
I think that there is racism in America. It certainly exists. It has always existed. But if black people want to get somewhere in America from this point on, they need to stop talking about it. They need to start talking about.
But Steve, let me ask you this question. Why? Because every country in this world, you have white and black people in the country. Why is this so prevalent in the United States of America? Why does not like England have the same problems? Why doesn't Ireland have the same problems? Why doesn't France have the same problems that the United States does? Because the media here and the government here shakes it up, and they want us to be fighting each other.
I think that everybody's responsible for it, but I just want to say if they focused on economics and they focused on policies and help the poor instead of blacks, they would get a lot further, and your party doesn't want to help poor people regardless of...
Which party is that?
And that happens to hurt black people more.
Which party is that, Steve?
Guys are talking up Trump every day.
No, we're not talking about Trump every day. I'm talking about now the Democratic Party has used and abused the minority communities for years. And you know what? They're starting to switch over and wake up now, and they're not voting Democrat every single cycle. Like Joe Biden is losing black voters by the thousands on a daily basis. So what are they doing? They're busing in and bringing in all these illegal immigrants because that's going to be the next voting block.
What are you saying? Republicans don't care about poor people? Is that what you're saying right now? Huh?
Policies are very clear. The policies are very clear.
Which policy is that? Tell me which policy the Republicans don't care about. If you think welfare and social services is a policy to help the black people, you're out of your mind.
Yeah, it's meant to cripple anybody in an impoverished neighborhood.
You name the policy that is anti-poor people, and the Democratic Party is defending the poor people. And the
Democratic Party wants to just constantly enable people. They just want to enable them to give them money to make them continue to vote. It's self-preservation for the Democratic Party.
Maybe it is self-preservation.
That's all it is. The Democratic Party of today was not the Democratic Party of our parents and grandparents. It's a disgrace, the Democratic Party today.
The entire Republican Party was started to end slavery and free blacks.
You want to have the Democratic Party have your daughter, if you have a daughter, be in a bathroom at 7 years old with a man going in there?
Because that's what Democrats
that's what they're spewing today.
They want that.
Nobody cares about that trans stuff. If you're talking,
but that's that's the topic of the news every day today. That's what they're focusing on.
Yeah, that's
look at Joe Biden's cabinet. Look at the people he puts in the places where he has. You have transgender people running the military. And listen, when I'm out in the military and I'm fighting in Iraq, I don't care who's next to me. Just shoot. Since
we're going, didn't Hunter just get indicted this morning?
Not yet.
It's coming. No. I thought the indictment. He's going down. He's going down.
On a news show, maybe read some news before you come on.
No, I'm asking.
You're going to tell me Hunter did nothing wrong
Steve,
too?
Don't be upset, Steve. I asked the question. I asked, didn't he get indicted this morning?
I'm just saying. You're saying, why didn't Jean Carroll launch this lawsuit years ago? She did. Didn't Hunter Biden get indicted? He did it. Why don't you just read something before you come on the air? It's your job.
Yo, I like what you're doing.
Tell me what policies.
Wait, hold on. I like this guy. Listen, if I ask a question, it means that I'm not informed about it. It means that certain subjects might come up, right? And it might be, hold on, Steve, because you just talked and talked. It might not be a subject that I covered because I do another show too besides this show. So when it comes up, when the topic comes up, if I ask a question, it's because I'm trying to catch up. Now, my ignorance might be a problem for you. However, it helps me to educate myself when I ask somebody a question and they answer it. So if it bothers you, Steve, I'm sorry that education has such a profound impact on you. But I want to tell you,
but we do appreciate you listening.
Yeah, I like that you listen, and I like learning. So thank you.
I enjoy the show. I just think you should be more informed before you come on air. Take your job a little more seriously.
No, we take it very seriously. We are informed. Tell me what policies the Republican Party that has that stifles the minority community. Tell me.
Okay. Let me just go with one. Okay. The estate tax. Okay. One party wants to eliminate it altogether. One party wants to bring the maximum down to $10 million, up from $18 million where it is right now. Now, let me ask you something. How many black people die with $18 million estates, and how many white people die with $18 million estates?
But first of all, I think the estate tax should be eliminated. I paid taxes on every dollar I make my whole entire life. Now I'm going to pay taxes on the money I already paid taxes on to give it to my family? What's the estate tax is another way of taking money from this country, putting it into the general system, and spending it on social programs we don't need to keep doing.
But you're defending the policy. I'm not saying whether I agree or disagree with the policy. I'm just saying which party are you agreeing with? When you're saying eliminate the estate tax, which party are you agreeing with?
I'm agreeing the estate tax should be eliminated, period, because the Democratic Party wants to keep it because they want the revenue.
Right, it's not a party question.
That's not a party question. Yeah. That's a tax question.
You are agreeing with the Republican Party, and you're saying...
Give me a policy that hurts the minority community.
Minimum wage.
How does that hurt the minority community? That makes no sense. It's like you're just reaching in the grab bag and like whatever you pull out, you just scream it out.
But minimum wage, ultimately, who pays for that?
Minimum wage? No, it doesn't apply here.
Okay, so now you're going to say that the raising of the minimum wage, that's not a race issue at all, huh? It's not a race.
It's a cost of living issue.
Minimum wage $20 for the guy working at McDonald's. Now you think that hamburger is still going to be $1? Or you think the hamburger is going to go to $1.50?
Snickers went up from 50 cents to 85 cents. They just trying to help compensate so you could buy a Snickers bar. I don't know why you're getting so mad.
It's not the wealthy people that are going to McDonald's. It's the minorities that are shopping in these stores. The minimum wage charges. The wealthy people aren't shopping in Walmart. Wealthy people aren't eating at McDonald's.
Right.
So the overwhelming majority of the people you're hurting are the ones you're trying to help.
Guys, I am not in favor of the minimum wage. I am just saying that when you are arguing to raise it, that's the Democrats that are doing it. And
correct.
People that earn the wage are largely minorities, earn minimum wage. So don't make it seem.
But look at the same thing you're doing. You're going to earn
that was wrong.
Higher than minimum wage.
What
is that going to do? That cost has to get transferred to somebody.
More white people get minimum wage than black people or Hispanics. So that's just crazy. Not just by the numbers alone, just by the simple fact that they make up for so many of the numbers here. So that's, I would encourage you to read something before you come on this show. Just get a little more informed.
You and I both know that as a percentage of the population is way more minorities that earn minimum wage than white people. Don't listen. If you have a position, defend it on its merits. You don't have to twist the
I'm not twisting facts.
Bro,
what facts we twisted? Minimum wage does not help the minority community.
Right, and it wasn't raised for minorities.
We are a capitalistic society. That's the way this exists out here. If you want to go to the Soviet Union, you want to go to North Korea, you want to go to Venezuela, and you want to have the government control the cost of everything, that's what you do.
Yeah, minimum wage was raised for people who make minimum wage. That was it. It was only for that.
If you get enough people that don't want to go to work at McDonald's for $14 an hour, McDonald's not going to be able to open, are they? It's called capitalism.
I'm against the minimum wage. I just want you to be honest about it and say raising the minimum wage.
You want us to say what you want us to say.
Raising minimum wage does not help the minority community.
You don't want the truth? You want us to confirm what you're saying?
Yes, it does.
You raise the minimum wage, okay, so then the guy that's, the grocery store is going to, all the groceries going to be higher. The oil that's going to be delivered to your house is going to be higher. So therefore your rent's going to be higher. It just trickles all the way up. All it is a Band-Aid to show the minority community, oh, we're getting you $20 an hour. You're only getting $14 an hour. But everything else is going to cost you more money. This is Street Legal. We'll be right back. We appreciate the call.
Thanks for joining us,
Steve. We love you. East Quogue, great community. Right back after a few short minutes. Hi, this is attorney Bob Macedonio. If you have been arrested or find yourself the subject of a criminal investigation, you need to call my office immediately at 631-582-3232. That's 631-582-3232, or visit my website at www.macdunlaw.com. That's MACDUNLAW.com. As a former prosecutor and now criminal defense attorney, I am equipped with the experience that will assure you the finest representation available. A diligent defense is not a privilege, it is a right. As a boutique law firm, we provide the personal service you demand on the most important legal matters, such as criminal, matrimonial, family, and custody representation. Please call my office at 631-582-3232 or visit my website at www.macdunlaw for an immediate appointment. Please call my office at 631-582-3232. This is Bob Macedonio. We're back with Street Legal. Link, that was a tough session right there.
Yeah, I like
Stevie from East Quogue beat us up a little bit, but this segment is brought to you by Mercedes-Benz of Southampton. They are located at 575 County Road 39 in Southampton. Visit the dealership for sales and service on your new and pre-owned Mercedes and Sprinter vans.
Yeah, man.
Mercedes-Benz. Shout out to Ardina. Link, that was we were fired up there. This guy kind of beats us up. We don't know what we're talking about. We do our homework. We come in here prepared. So you have you want to call in, call Street Legal, Bob Macedonio, Link, we're here, 631-451-1039. That's 451-1039.
Right.
Pick up the phone and start dialing. We are here. We're ready for your questions. We're going to shake it up tonight. But we have a caller on line 1. We'll send him through. Danny on line 1.
Hello?
Danny, you are live on Street Legal with Bob and Link.
Hey, what's going on, Danny?
Let me tell you guys something, man. I was listening, man. You guys did a great job, man, on those questions. I love the way how, it's funny because a lot of people never really been in the inside of everything and seen things really happening. I love the way how you hit that point where everything's going to go up double. And they make it seem like
because people just think, okay, let's raise the minimum wage. Let's give listen. I appreciate every worker, whether you're the janitor or the CEO of a company.
Right.
Everybody has a position to do. But if I just use McDonald's because everybody's familiar with McDonald's. If you have a guy that's making $15 an hour behind the counter making the burgers, great, he's going to do that. But if you raise that rate to $20, the cost has to get passed on.
Remember, they take away that man's insurance too.
Okay, but the cost has to get passed on somehow. Okay, so that burger, which was $1, is now $1.25.
Right.
Okay, so
exactly. But what I'm saying too is, look at all the people that lost. How McDonald's when they put up the minimum wage, how many people lost jobs to get insurance?
It's the same thing what Home Depot did years ago with the workers. You didn't qualify for benefits unless you worked, let's say, 30 hours a week. So they get everybody 22 hours a week.
Make sure they never get the
part-time
benefits.
Employees and nobody had benefits.
Right.
But all that's been corrected. Home Depot, great corporation. Yeah. But it's the same thing. You raise the rates of all these employees, which everybody's entitled to make a living, but the cost of the product has to go up.
Right.
Has to.
That's why, when I heard that, I was just fine, because a lot of times people like to, and I'm going to be honest with you, every time I hear people talk about that, a lot of them like to just walk away from the question. They don't really just, I love the way how, when you
get to the meat and potatoes of what, and I really mean this, so anybody who's taking offense to it, feel free to call up 631-451-1039.
Yeah.
any Democrat that comes up and try to make sense of what's going on right now, to me, is reaching in a bag of things that don't exist. Because you can't explain away what's going on. You can't explain away what happened in the last 3 years since we had Joe Biden in office. You can't explain our country being left out of everything that has everything to do with finance and currency. You can't explain the fact that our country is more focused on transgender bathrooms than what it is that's actually happening.
I feel like what they're doing is they're trying to play a game right now with that. And what they're trying to do is they're doing other things, but it's just the way how the media could sit there and go, hey, look, there's a transgender basketball player right there. And then all of a sudden, you don't even know what's getting passed up upstairs.
Well, Dan, let me ask you a question. You put LeBron James on the women's USA basketball team. What's going to happen?
LeBron James is going to be the best player in history.
He's going to score 100 points a night.
Every game.
Every game. But that's unfair. That's unfair to my daughter, your daughter, whoever's daughters are out there that have grown up, that want to play basketball, and they strive their whole life to become Olympians. If LeBron James is going to take their spot, there's a problem with that.
Danny, how about when homeboy came up out the pool and raised his hand and the other ladies didn't arrive at the finish line yet to grab the edge of the pool? Yo, when I saw that,
man, I was disgusted.
I couldn't believe it, man.
To me, Danny, to me, it's just another way that our media and the government does to shake things up. You know, I sent, you could listen to this little thing. I sent Link an article last week. Yeah. And I may agree that it's maybe just an analogy, but it says if you put 100 red ants and 100 black ants into a jar, they're going to get along. They're going to build whatever they got to build. They're going to do what they do. You shake the jar up, the black ants are going to think the red ants are their enemy, and the red ants are going to think the black ants are an enemy, and they're going to start fighting. That is what goes on in this country right now. Because you take children, you take 2, 3, 4-year-old children, you put them in nursery school, black, white, and Spanish kid. They're all going to get along. They're all going to play with the blocks together. They're all going to play with the crayons together until someone says, you shouldn't be playing with Black Johnny. Oh, you know, Harry's Spanish.
Right.
You know, Bobby's white. You know, you can't go to the white kid's house. That's what the media does. That's what our government does. They want us going at each other. And what they've done now is they've run out of racism stuff, so they start with the transgender, they start with the bisexual, they start with the LGBTQ2. Nobody really cares what your sexual preference is. I think on the average day, any one of us here, you want to be gay, be gay. I don't care.
Right.
But when you start saying, the media starts making issues of it, and start putting these men in my daughter's bathroom, I have a problem with it.
The thing is this, right? Like, sexual preference is just that. It's what you prefer.
Correct.
Right? And that's, you can do whatever you want to. But once you start imposing those things on my life, you tell me what I have to start respecting and how I have to view things and how I have to speak about this or feel about that. Once you start doing that and it becomes something that is imposing to me, then I have a right to defend all the rights that I have, right? Like, I have a right to be offended by the fact that you know, in my mind, some of the stuff that I see is just weird.
But where do you draw the line? And Danny, where do you draw the line? If a man could transgender into playing women's sports, where do you draw the line? As a white man, could I put on my application to Harvard that I'm a black man because I'm identifying as a black man that day?
Right.
Who's to say?
100% on that. And what confuses me through this whole thing is they just throw it on us.
Because it's just more shaking up the jar with the ants in it. Don't you get the theory? I understand
more
that's just
stuff for us to fight about.
That's all they want us to do is fight. Because, like you said, who the hell knows what's going down there in Washington? What laws? Some of these bills that are being passed, 4, 5, 6,000 pages of bills, and we're getting the media's putting out 1 or 2 laws that get passed. We have no idea what's in the other 6,000 pages.
No, because they vote privately, just like at the schools when they hold these little private meetings and claim it was public.
Executive session, they call it.
Yeah. And so you get completely counted out of that. Meanwhile, while they're holding an executive session, they're deciding things that include you and involve you, but you're just not there.
Yeah, look at pick up the phone, start dialing 631-451-1039. The Bob and Link here with Street Legal every Tuesday night, and you know, we have to come together as a country and don't let the media and the government divide us.
Let me ask you a question, right? Since I got both of y'all here, what is this country? What is life? What is living? What is any of it? Right? Without God and without love, what is it? What is the point of any of it?
None.
Right. So if I
can make all the money you want, Link, you can't take it with you.
No. You're a Danny. You're a Spanish guy, right? Danny Rivera, right? Hispanic.
Exactly.
I'm a black guy. Bob is a white guy.
Link, you never told me you were black.
Yeah, listen, it's a surprise. It's a surprise. Okay, I ain't mean to spring it on you like that. But you think about it, right? Like that, when you say there was a white guy, a black guy, and a Spanish guy, it sounds like you're about to tell a joke. No. You know what I'm saying? But look how well we all get along. Look how well we all like respect each other. Look how we all respect what each other do, either just here on the radio, right? Your podcast, everything. And it's not about racial lines. Like Bob is literally one of the best friends that I've ever had in my life, like for the longest time. So it's
I always felt like racism was a connection.
It's a learned behavior that the government and media put on us.
Right. I think Danny might be
behavior.
Danny might be with 2 Italian detectives right now, having dinner.
Oh, don't put that out there. No. Lincoln, people get the wrong idea. People get the wrong idea.
I was trying to be at that table. I was trying to sit down.
And I will show you racism because I'm going to put this out there. Link, June 10th, Wine Dance Day.
Right.
And that's what Lincoln and I are going to have. We're going to have our own booth at Wine Dance Day at the park doing voter registration. Educating the people.
I'm going to come there with you.
Come there. June 10th is Wine Dance Day. Hopefully it's a sunny, beautiful day. Street Legal will be there with voter registrations forms, black, white, Spanish, green, blue, whatever you want to be. We don't care what party you register for. Come register to vote. Get involved. And don't let the government and the media tell us what to do.
That's all we care about.
I like that, Bob. Get rid of, vote the people out that don't do the right thing.
Well, the people that are in there, it's self-preservation. They want the job. You go in. AOC went in broke, living on a couch. Now she's a millionaire. She's going with $30,000 gowns to the Met Gala.
Yeah.
Joe Biden went in broke. The family's multimillionaires now. Nancy Pelosi went in broke. She's leaving her husband worth hundreds of millions of dollars. Trump went in worth $10 billion, comes out worth $6 billion. So he lost money going in there.
Yo, did you hear dude go in on me because I wanted to know? Oh, my bad. I wanted to know if I'm about to say, damn, it couldn't have been over that quick. But dude went in on me because I wanted to know if Hunter Biden got indicted. Because the last thing I heard last night before my eyes closed was like they was reviewing Hunter Biden. They was like, please don't indict him till Wednesday or something. Like they was waiting on a special day to indict him. And so, did you hear him go off on me because I asked about that though?
Yeah, and he did. But Steve from East Clark, you're still out there. We want your call back. 631-451-1039. We didn't finish with you, Steve.
All you're doing is explaining something that's already inside the news and the media already getting
correct.
See, I feel like a lot of times that like people who call in a lot of times are porn to make everybody get crazy and stuff like that. Like, listen, I've been in this game for a long time.
Well, Steve has some good points. It's just that Steve had good points from a Democratic perspective, and you can't always explain things from a Democratic perspective because their lead right now looks crazy. You know what I mean? Like the things that.
Game on you gotta when you're going up inside the debate, no matter what, man, even if you're running for any single thing, you always gotta be on a playing field. Like a lot of times that's what's wrong with this government right now. Nobody's playing on the playing field.
Well, Danny, if you're going to go into any debate, and any professional debater will tell you this, you need to know both sides. You need to know the facts on both sides. Whether you believe the other side or take a position on the other side, you need to know the facts. Listen, I don't knock anybody that's Democrat. I don't knock anybody that's Republican, conservative, whatever you're liberal. But at least educate yourself to why the other person thinks that.
Right.
Like right now, the main thing affecting this country right now is illegal immigration. And who illegal immigration hurts the most? The minority communities. That's who it hurts the most.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we got Steve. We got to take this call.
We got Steve back on, Danny. We appreciate your call. We love the show, Danny Rivera's show.
Let's go, Steve.
We're taking Stevie back.
Let's go, Steve.
Steve, fellas.
Steve,
I'm a Democrat.
You're back.
Hey, salute to you, Steve.
Steve, you're a Democrat. Can I ask you a question, Steve?
You're a Democrat.
I'm not a Democrat.
Okay,
Steve, you are a Democrat.
I'm going to ask you a question because I'm going to tell you one policy, the Democratic policy, that hurts not only the minority community, but the entire country, the influx of illegal immigration. Why is the Democratic Party, do they want all these people just coming in here illegally?
A good question, Steve.
Okay, now I have to warn you that I'm speaking as somebody who is an immigrant. My grandparents, all 4 of them.
Every one of us here, what
does that have to do with the question right now?
But I'm talking about illegal influx of people coming across our southern border in thousands and thousands a day.
As someone who has 4 grandparents who came over here
legally,
how did you get here, Steve? We're not talking about the plight of your grandparents. We're gonna get into that. We could go back to slavery and tell you how I got here. Listen, we're talking about you, Steve. Keep it on the Steve.
Okay. And what I'm saying is this: I'm saying, how could I possibly support a president that said we are full when my grandparents came over to save their lives from Eastern Europe, and now we got a president over here who's saying to other refugees who's saying, sorry, we're full.
He never said we are full. We have a...
That's exactly what he said. That's a quote, guys. That's a quote. He said, we are full.
We welcome everybody come in legally.
There's a process, Steve.
You need to seek asylum. There's a process to seek asylum. Do you think just because I don't like living here, I can just walk across the border and go live there?
Right.
He said we're full. He didn't say.
Forget about what he said. I'm not saying everything Trump said is right. Do you think the influx of illegal immigrants now hurts the minority community or helps them?
We have 3.5% unemployment. We need our immigrants coming.
We have millions and millions of poor people in this country that don't have housing, that we're not getting educated, that are not getting food fed right every day.
We don't need more immigrants. No, we do not.
We are paying thousands of dollars a day to put these people up in New York City hotels out of my tax-paying dollars.
Right, right. We gotta put them up, Steve. When they
I don't want to pay for every Mexican, every Spanish guy coming across the border illegally. I don't want my tax dollar going to that. I want my tax dollars going to helping American people, educating the people in this country that pay their taxes, that get up and go to McDonald's and work for the minimum wage.
I second that motion.
Because out of the minimum wage job that you just advocated for, that person's tax dollars are paying for some illegal immigrant to be educated.
Here's what I always get, Steve. Hold on. Let me say something real quick. I get a bunch of when I talk to Mexicans and when I talk to
and I'm not picking on Mexicans. I'm talking about
you know what they tell me? This is what they tell me. Oh, it's so beautiful in my country. Oh, the women is this, and I'm just like, well, bruh, like, come on, you know we don't really want you here.
Illegal immigration hurts the minority community the most.
You want them here.
Link.
No, we do want them here.
No, you want them here, Steve.
You want them here. You want the voting block because you're running out of reasons to have the black people vote for you. So now you need the Spanish people to vote for you.
Right.
No. Listen, let me tell you something.
The black population is fleeing away from the Democratic Party.
I gotta hear this, Steve. Tell me why black people should keep voting Democrat. Go for it, Steve.
Okay, number one is because the Democratic Party supports policies that help poor people, and black people are disproportionately poor.
But they're poor because of these policies that never helped them get out of poverty. Okay. That's why.
Yeah.
If you give someone Section 8 and you can keep giving them Section 8 for generation after generation after generation, it doesn't help them get off of it.
I got something you never heard. And you know what? You can appreciate this. Hold on. I'll tell you what the Democrats have never heard of. They've never heard that if you teach a man to fish, you feed him for life. But if you give a man a fish, you feed him for the day. And so what they do is they just give a man a fish for the day. But they don't never teach the man how to fish. So the man always looks to the guy who's feeding him the fish to survive. And so in the Republican Party, right, the thing is you build it yourself. Pull yourself up on your bootstraps.
I love the whole pull yourself up by your bootstraps philosophy.
Right.
But the fact of the matter is the Republicans are not trying to teach anybody to fish. They're just trying to cut corporate taxes.
Because when you cut corporate taxes, what happens to that money? It goes back into our economy.
Right. You're letting businesses do business.
Increased corporate taxes, what does it do? It gives it to the government to spend on more programs to keep people down.
Right, and you just think that it's just going to trickle down, right?
That's what capitalism does. That's called capitalism.
It's always done that.
Steve, let me ask you a question. Steve, what country, if I may, what country are your parents from?
My parents are from here. My grandparents are all from Eastern Europe, Romania, Poland, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay, and I bet you they came through legally through Ellis Island with proper channels, correct?
That's right.
And then when they got here, what did they do? Did they work?
They worked their ass off.
Okay, did they pay their taxes?
But did they rip down the wall to get here? Did they crawl through barbed wire?
They paid the taxes?
Listen,
were they bringing fentanyl across? Were they sex trafficking young children? Were they doing all that?
Bob, that's insane, okay? The immigrants I know are my cleaning ladies. They work their freaking balls off.
Okay, but the money you're paying them, they're sending home to these countries.
Yeah, that was so racist. Seriously, Steve, I don't even know what to say. That was horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God.
That's like saying the immigrants coming in.
No, you know what, Steve? At least they're good enough to clean.
At least we talk about racism. We're here.
Wow.
I'm not being racist.
No, you're not.
That's what they do. They don't traffic drugs. They come here and they do the work.
Now, can you say that for everybody that crosses the border, though, Steve? Can you say that?
Yeah. So you're saying we should have an open border, free, let people roam in and out whenever they want?
No, nobody's saying that. If the borders aren't open, we're confronting hundreds of thousands of people. That's a lie that the borders are open. They've never been open.
Watch the TV. Watch TV. Watch your own CNN. Watch them. The people just walk across untouched.
Watch his own CNN.
We're capturing hundreds of thousands of people at the border. How could you say they're open?
Because we're missing hundreds of thousands.
They're letting them in. We're not capturing them.
We're busing people.
We basically telling them sign here and letting them in.
You tell me why my tax dollars should be paying for people to spend $1,000 a night in a hotel in New York City. Why?
Right.
Because I'm telling you that the people that are coming in right now are the only people that are willing to put in a hard day's work in this country.
That's not true.
Wow.
Put the hard day's work in your own country then.
So are you saying all Americans are if you're a Native American, like if you're native to here, you're just lazy? You got to be from Mexico to be
You just killed your whole minimum wage argument because
Wow.
if the Spanish lady wasn't here cleaning your house and you wanted your house clean, it cost you a little more to hire the white lady.
Right.
Guys, I don't know about you. Listen, I don't have a job. I'm wealthy enough. I don't need to work. You two guys are.
Listen. So then you should be happy about about the estate taxes,
bro.
You think I care about my country? I care about my country.
You don't. If you cared about your country, you'd stop this influx of people coming in, ruining our country.
No, Bob, because immigrants make America great.
I know I'm not hearing a wealthy person dictate how I should live my life in my country and the opinions of us in this studio when you are too lazy to clean your own house. You need to get a life and read a book, dude.
I'm not too lazy. My grandparents worked super hard.
I don't care about your grandparents. My grandparents were hardworking people too, and I'm a hardworking person, but you're so lazy you can't even clean your house and you have to exploit an immigrant, and your whole basis for open borders is so that you can get your house cleaned. Buy a vacuum.
Exploit $80 an hour. She makes more than you, guy. She makes more than you, my cleaning lady.
Wow, so now you're using classism to make me feel like crap? You're a real American hero.
Illegal immigration is going to destroy this country. Our schools can't afford it. Our system can't afford it. Our infrastructure can't afford it. I don't want to pay $1,000 a night for somebody to stay in a hotel that I can't afford to stay in. That's BS.
Oh, my name's Steven.
We need a bus that does U-turns from Mexico back to Mexico.
Come in legally. We welcome you here with open arms. Come in legally.
They think they got here. It's a U-turn bus.
I'm coming legally. Your guy said we are full.
We're full. We are full. We have to solve our own problems before we solve somebody else's problems. Right. We are full here. Let's take care of our own people. Let's get our minority communities up to scale.
What about homelessness? What about homelessness here?
Let's get all of our children educated properly. Let's get all of our children fed properly.
Homelessness.
But this is Street Legal. We are here every Tuesday night. We're going to be back next week. Steve, don't you lose that number. 631-451-1039. It's Bob Mastonia, my firm name. Mastonia and Duncan. 631-582-3232. You want to get free.
You better call B.O.B.
You want to stay free.
You still got to call B.O.B.
Okay. We'll be back next week, Tuesday night. Thank you.
Peace.